Hi, and welcome to my Friday evening live card making tutorial. This evening I have for you a soft and stunning card, clean and simple card, using the Poised Peony stamp set. So let me first introduce myself. I'm Shelley Godby, and for 24 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing list. All right, so let's have a look at the Poised Peony stamp set. There we go. Isn't that pretty? It's a simple one, and Stampin' Up! Put it at the beginning of the 24-25 catalog, I think targeting new stampers. And so all the samples, they just stamped it in color and they were done. And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to color it this evening, and I am pairing it with the Frames and Flowers 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper. And I wanted you to see some of the samples they made here. All of these were packaging, but cute, cute, cute. And they paired it with, because it has some greetings in here, it has, in my thoughts, hello, happy birthday wishes. But I'm looking at what was stamped on this page. This one, they used those greetings. Back here, which was a great set for, oh, I just like it, period. But it was, something else designed for people who were new. Isn't that great? And so a very nice variety. And I found myself using it quite a bit, and I'm anything but new. I mean, a demonstrator for 24 years and, was a customer before that. So would you like to have a look at here's the Frames and Flowers Specialty Designer Series paper. There we go. Oh, we've got some that have, Miss Bonnie B is here, Miss Adelaide, and Miss Margaret. Hello, hello, hello. So here we go. Isn't this pretty? And then, so very nice. But here, let me show you all the Frames and Flowers. So there's the designer paper, and these were on those 12 by 12 sheets. So I punched them out so you could be able to see them. And yeah, lots and lots. So you could build, the samples that we just saw, they did packaging with them, gift packaging, but you certainly could make cards. And some of these, there's room to stamp. So your favorite greeting. And so cards, and wouldn't these be great for scrapbook pages too? I mean, because you've got some good size elements here. And so very nice. I think it'd be a lot of fun to play with this and build cards. I mean, you could use this just all on its own, right? With a greeting set. So you've got that long strip in here. I mean, all of these it's just so loaded. And I think you could have a blast playing with it. So I wanted you to see these. And this card tonight, it's the perfect casual Friday. It is so easy. We're not even pulling out the die cutting machine. So we'll start with stamping. Okay. And what I have here is some basic white thick cardstock. And whenever you're stamping with white cardstock, you absolutely want to use the Stampin' Up! Basic white cardstock. It's different. It has a smooth, tight finish, so we get crisp, clean images. Where here is Pretty Peacock. It's not the same finish. If you stamp on there, you just don't get the same detail as you get on the basic white. And I'm using basic white thick for a couple reasons. One, because I'm using Stampin' Blends, and it's recommended, the basic white thick, and I'll be popping it up, and then that just gives it better support. Oh, you know what? I didn't show you. Here we go. I've got the QR code all ready to go, and I didn't show you. So there we go. Here's the Poised Peony. And Tuesday, April 1st, we're going to get the last chance list. And I didn't see this in the new catalog, but it doesn't mean it isn't going to an online exclusives. But if I had to guess, I would say it's retiring, but we'll know for sure on the 1st. And as soon as things hit the last chance list, they become available only while supplies last. And then all that beautiful paper I was just showing you, well, there we go. And, and I just wondered if some people just skip past the front of the catalog because it had stuff that was designed for people who are uh, perhaps new. Oh, and Miss Patricia's here too. And so there are some really good finds at the front of it, and like the Poised Peony stamp set. All right, so let's get back to our stamping. I mean, I'm going to spend the time doing those QR codes. I need to show you, right? Okay, so I've got the Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. And whenever my stamp is larger than the pad, instead of taking the stamp to the pad, I take the pad to the stamp. And I have this on a clear block E, and our acrylic blocks are so comfortable. There's a groove in here and everything's rounded, so very comfortable to hang on to. Highly recommend them. Oh, and Miss Mary is here. Well, fantastic. So let's get this good and inked up. All right. Looks like I could use, I always have a habit of looking at them before I stamp anyway. So let's come over here and in the center, straight up and down. Fantastic. All right. And please, remember to say, give my video a like and a share. And of course, come in and say hello to the sweetest group of stampers ever. Isn't that pretty? It is pretty. And you really, as their samples, you can completely get away with just stamping it in color. It is that pretty. Okay. And while I have my Tuxedo Black out, I'm going to use the Hello from the Poised Peony stamp set. I've got plenty of room down here. Come in here and Hello. And this is a clear block B. Okay, so we are done with it. Let's put that aside. Good, good, good. All right. So the colors in this paper, some of them, we've got Petal Pink and Soft Seafoam, Pumpkin Pie, Pretty Peacock, as you saw my card base, and Lost Lagoon, Shaded Spruce, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but that's what so let's get playing. I'm going to try to keep these in order. And so I'm going to use this brush tip, and let's do one petal at a time. And after one card that I did, where I was following the DSP and didn't color in all of it, I'm hooked of trying not to color in every last little bit. So then that was the dark, and this is the light pumpkin pie, the dark petal pink. And then sometimes I like to come back and blend that out a little bit more. But you look how that blends. So you want to do a small area at a time. All right, so this time I'm going to start with, and so I'm creating a shadow because this petal is overlapping. So there's a shadow right there. And then blend. And that's why they're called blends. They are just the coolest thing. All right, so this petal will be creating a shadow over here. All right, and this one up here. So let's do that and fill in. It is so much fun playing and thinking about where a shadow would be. Now this one's on top. And so there I am resisting coloring in every last little bit. And so I could have been a lot more dramatic and used the dark pumpkin pie, but clearly I didn't. All right, so this one is creating a shadow here. So let's give it some extra color right there and blend out. So as I'm playing and repeating this and doing a petal at a time, so I was telling you that the last chance list, Tuesday. And so I will be posting that as fast as my little fingers can type. I like to look through it and post some things, some favorites and what I think might sell out first, because things are starting to sell out. One of my sweet stampers was stocking up on cardstock and wanted wild wheat. It's just gone. The wild wheat is gone. You know, I was laughing about it because I think that was probably one of the least favorite when the new in colors were released. And then they quickly became a favorite when people saw how it could be a fantastic gold and how it worked with other things because the colors were muted. And this time they might be a little, you know, they're not the soft like we have with the let me think the 24, 26 colors. And but I think, you know, just like the ones that are getting ready to retire, we're going to find out how much we love them when we give them a chance. Because they're definitely more muted than what am I trying to think of? The 24, 26 colors? Yeah. You know, with the pretty in pink. And so we're just playing here and having a nice time. So that will be out. And then tomorrow I'll have a link to my blog post with all of the measurements. So in case you'd like to duplicate my clean and simple in the soft card in the soft colors. We've got some more here. Who else has joined us? Tiny has joined us and Dartmouth. All right. Oh, a fellow Rumbler. Well, hello. That's fantastic. And okay, I can't make that out. I'm sorry. The lights in my eyes. And my grandma goes bonkers over adult coloring books. Yes, you should. She would love this. It's addictive. And then when you're done, you have something to share with other people. And as I often say, I don't think we will know on this side of heaven um, what impact our handmade cards had. We make them and we put, you know, a lot of love into them, and then we send them off, and it just really makes somebody's day. And so there we go. We've got that shading, and look how simple with the Stampin' blends. And then because they're in the Stampin' Up! Colors, they're going to coordinate beautifully with the designer series paper and the cardstock and the embellishments. So now let's do the leaves. And I've got the soft seafoam and Lost Lagoon. I started off with Mossy Meadow, and it was not Mossy Meadow, Shaded Spruce. And then I decided to try um, the Lost Lagoon and just fell in love with it. Okay, you know what? Let's leave these caps off. I'm going to keep going and moving quickly. So, okay, so tomorrow after the video's done uploading into HD, I'll have a link to my blog post with that will give you all the measurements as well as a downloadable PDF that will include the card sketch. Yeah, Grandma will love these alcohol markers because the blending is just amazing. So I don't know if you've heard that before, because, you know, we tend to get one color in our hand and we keep going with it till we're done. But you really do, if you want the colors to blend, you want to work in a small area. All right, and so here would be a shadow, right? Let's add some more right there. But I'm so glad you all are joining me on a... Okay, well, thank you, Dartmouth. Thank you for sharing the love. I sure appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited to be on Rumble. I've been there for a while, but I started live streaming there, oh, a couple months ago. There we go. Isn't that pretty? My goodness. So, you know what? You know, I tend to start with the lightest and then do the shading, but then there are other times I start with the darkest and finish coloring in. Just all depends on the mood. And sometimes it's just whatever blend I still have in my hand. But even though I'm using 3 colors, it's still going pretty quickly. And it's cathartic. There's just no two ways about it. Coloring is cathartic. And I'm using the brush tip for most of this. Let's just Don't you just love how it blends out? You would think Lost Lagoon, but it works. And there we go. So let's put those caps on. I don't mind leaving them off while I'm working, but I sure don't want to once I'm done. Isn't it nice how it fits on the other end so you don't lose it? And there we go. Let me pick that up a little bit more, but we've got some lovely shading, and which just adds a lot to it instead of just coloring. So now let's put it all together. So I showed you the pretty peacock card base, and isn't that beautiful? So there are our colors, you know, the petal pink, Lost Lagoon, pretty peacock. Oh, this may even have granny apple green in it. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. Put my finger where, isn't that a beautiful pattern too? Isn't that just lovely? All right. And so if I had to guess, I would say this is going to be on the retiring list. But again, we don't know what will move to online exclusives. So here we go. Yeah, that looks about right. All right. And I don't press down until I am happy with the placement. Oh, and so while I'm sitting here playing around, talking about the new catalog, I send catalogs to my stampers, my sweet stampers, who have ordered at least $50 from me in the last 6 months. So if you've ordered, and you have through March 30th, but that's running out. It's already March 28th, only through March 30th, because I have to order them on March 31st. If you've ordered $50 from me before shipping and tax, right? Product total, from October 1st through October 1st, 2024, through March 30th, 2025, I'm sending you the brand new catalog for free. And wow, do you want that catalog? It is wonderful. And so you've got a little bit of time to do that. All right, so this is one of the patterns, but I like how it's a little bit muted. And then I had this on here, and I was going to, mat the whole thing, and I had a piece of this size. I went, oh, I like that. Breaking out of the box a little bit. Oh, and I was coloring on this silicone mat. Let me show you. I keep this underneath me. It's really nice because, adhesive doesn't stick to it, but it's also recommended that you color when using Stampin' blends on a non-porous surface. So, we have that glass mat, and but I always have this silicone mat underneath me. And so then the color stays here and doesn't absorb into the paper underneath you. Okay. So that's recommended. And that's something I had picked up on Amazon. All right. So now I've got a couple of layers here, and so this is already picked up. So let's put Stampin' Steel here. And then my favorite adhesive ever, we've got the Stampin' Dimensionals. And a couple over here. And it works out just beautifully, because if I'd put dimensionals on every corner, it would have been off balance. Whoops, there we go. So let's just tuck this in over here. Isn't this a great casual Friday? Just unwind with a simple card that's simply lovely. And so let's finish it with some embellishments. And I have the petal pink and pretty peacock. Didn't that work out well? Sparkled gems. Oh, no. Okay. Foiled gems. Sorry about that. And then I take your pick tool, and they come in 2 different sizes. So I always press down on the embellishment so the adhesive sticks to the embellishment and not the acetate sheet. Let's come up here in that little, there we go. Well, let's do the same thing down here. And then, so these aren't all identical because the gold foil is more on some than others. And then a large one. And so I don't have a full sheet of these because this was a partial pack left from my share. Oh, thank you, Miss Adelaide. So I will be doing a paper share again with the annual catalog, the 25-26 catalog. And so if you subscribe to my blog, you can keep an eye on that. And so I do all the designer and specialty papers, and then you can upgrade it to include all the embellishments, and that's how I end up with a partial. And so there we go. Simply lovely, soft and pretty with the Poised Peony stamp set that, I don't know, if I was a betting person, I'm just guessing, but I also thought my Layers of Beauty was retiring, and it's not. So we'll know for sure on Tuesday. But you can make this part of a $50 order by March 30th, so I can send you an annual catalog absolutely for free. And you do that in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And there's always a link under the video when you're watching on YouTube or my blog, but www.shopwithshelly.com. And so there we go. I mean, so easy. Isn't that beautiful? Just so soft. So give this a trick. Well, thank you, Miss Bonnie B. And I'm not sure, Miss Mary, what that is. That's I bet it's I just love it, right? So all right. Well, I am so glad you joined me. And let's do this. Fantastic. And see if there's, oh, thank you, Miss Mary. All right. Okay, fantastic. You all are so awesome to come and spend some of your time with me. Here it is, a Friday evening, and we're hanging out and stamping and making simply lovely cards. Oh, it would make a nice Mother's Day card. Absolutely. That's coming up before we know it. I know it's almost April. Oh, gracious, that's May, isn't it? Ooh, maybe I should save this for my mom. She's probably not watching. So everything I use, unless I told you differently, like the silicone mat, and I think that's it, is available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. So it's that time of evening where I thank you for joining me. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Good evening, and God bless.